Let's get started. We'll start in an easy seat today, Sukhasana, crisscross. I am sitting on a blanket to prop up my spine. If your knees are very high when you sit down in cross-legged position, it's a good idea to sit on something. Palms facing down on the knees. And take a moment to stack your spine here, shoulders over hips, neck over shoulders, and slowly close down the eyes. We will start with few rounds of cleansing breaths. So inhale through the nose and big sigh out through the mouth. Two more with your breath. Last one. And then sealing the lips, we begin to deepen our breath in and out through the nose. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, you can begin to channel it now. Looking for that deep ocean sound constricting the back of the throat. We take the first few moments of our practice to arrive here in this moment, mind and body. So taking a pause to check with the body. Are we holding any tension? Can we let go of that? Ironing out all those creases with our breath. Noticing the weight of our seat. Shoulders are heavy. The weight of the palms, the arms are resting on your legs. Just becoming aware of all those sensations. Noticing that lift in the spine all the way to the crown of your head, reaching upwards. That rise and fall of the body as we inhale and exhale. Tuning into the teeny tiny sensations that the breath brings. Bringing awareness to the mind. Our thoughts, they're always constant. Can you find some ease there? Easing into whatever you find. Rather than resisting, stiffening up, just bring your awareness to the breath. On the next inhale, arms will go up towards the sky. Eyes can remain closed here. Let the palms touch and bring them in front of your heart in your Namaste position, Anjali Mudra. We take a moment to find an intention for our movement practice. And then slowly tuck the chin to chest and open your gaze towards your hands. Release the hands onto your knees. Lift the head up. Bring right ear to right shoulder. quick neck stretch on the left side. Inhale, come back center over to the other side. Inhale, come back center again. We are going to take a side stretch. So bring your right hand by your side, left arm goes up and over. Soften through the right elbow, right shoulder presses away from the ear, and we find length in the left side body. Root down through the left hip here, minimizing the tension in our shoulders. One more breath. Inhale, move through center over to the other side. Left hand comes down this time. Spread the fingers of the left hand and the right. Keep lots of space between your shoulders and your ears. Keep listening to the sound of your breath. Last one. Come back center. We'll take a twist. Place your left hand outside the right knee, right hand at the base of your spine. Twist here. Just gonna go sideways so that you can have a better view. So my left hand is outside my right hand. My right hand is at the base of the spine. Inhale, I find length in the spine. Exhale, I twist. Take one more breath there. And come back center. Other side. Right hand outside the left knee and then left hand at the base of the spine. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist, and twist from the torso here, not from the neck. Be mindful of that. Be aware if you're leaning back too much. Prop up the spine. Yeah. One more breath. And unwind. All right, we'll come into our tabletop position. So find your blanket in the middle of the mat. We'll come on hands and knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide here. Knees under your hips. I'm gonna take off my socks. All right, curl the toes. Inhale, arch the spine. Squeeze the shoulder blades, soften the elbows, gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine. Gaze towards the thighs. Inhale, drop the belly, chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Shoulders move away from the ears. On the exhale, we round the whole spine like a cat. Few more rounds with your breath. And don't be in a rush to change your breathing. So you inhale as you arch your spine, take a pause, whatever is comfortable. And then you exhale and pause perhaps. One more round. Come back to neutral spine. Find your cat back again, round your spine, move the shoulders away from the ears, tuck the tailbone under, spread the fingers and then lift the knees few inches off the mat. This is our core, our shoulders, micro bend in the elbows, heart presses away from the mat. One more breath. And then downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back and take your feet one step back. Begin to pedal out the legs. So bending and extending. Make sure your chest is moving back, not forward, right? So we want our shoulders way far behind the wrist. Trying to find that upside down V. Find even bend in your down dog. So even bend in your knees, hips reaching up towards the sky, heart melting towards the thighs. Begin to press the palms away from the mat, shrugging the shoulders, externally rotating them here. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Lower the knees down. Come to sit on your toes, your heels. Hands come out in front of you. You roll out your wrist. Elbows are soft here. Shoulders are relaxed. Go one way and then the other way. And then maybe make a tight fist here. Slow release. Again, make a tight fist. Slow release. Last one. And then quick, as if you're flicking water here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake it out. All right. Let's come into our low lunge. So pair of blocks are handy here. They're useful. Let's bring the left foot forward. Left foot steps forward. Allow the right knee to slide back so that you have a nice stretch going in the front of the right thigh. Make sure both legs are parallel. So I'll turn towards the camera to show what I'm talking about. We want parallel legs here. We don't want the front leg coming right in front of the back hip. So low lunge. Front ankle is stacking under the knee. Blocks under your shoulders. Soften through the elbows as much as you can. Inhale here. Exhale, find length in the front leg. Any amount. Send the hips back. Curl the toes if you can. Inhale, bend the knee. Heart moves forward. Elbows move back. Exhale, lengthen. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again, gaze forward. Shine your chest. Exhale, extend, fold here. Maybe blocks move a little closer to you. You can always lower the setting of your blocks, but don't force it. Tendency here is to lean into the right side, so make sure you shift the hips a little bit to the left side. Look at your left toes, they should be pointing towards the left hip. 1 more breath. Rebend the knee and then heel to that left foot to the right top corner of the mat, right? We'll straighten the leg again. Tall setting of the blocks. Now if this doesn't feel too much in the outer leg, you can always slide the heel forward and then turn the body towards the left side. You can always place your right hand on top of left, making sure that the left toes are still pointing towards the hip. They don't go sideways. The more you fold here, the more you feel the stretch. Two more breaths. Unwind. Slide the heel in. Heel to the foot to the left edge of the mat. Blocks move out of your way. Bring both hands inside the foot. Lift the right knee and step back into plank pose this time. Hands as wide as the mat, feet as wide as the mat or hip width apart. And then begin to round your spine. Think again of that cat back, tucking the tailbone under, space between our shoulder blades. We are pressing everything away with all our might. Micro bend in our elbows. 1 more breath. Downward facing dog. You usually have to shorten your stance a little when you transition from plank to down dog. So you might want to step the feet in a little. Please maintain softness in the knees here. Favored length in the spine more than the length in the hamstrings. Once we have length in the spine, which means we are able to send the chest back towards the thighs, we can begin to find length. So push those heels towards the mat even if they don't touch them. 1 more breath. Lower the knees down. Come to sit back on your heels again. Shake out the wrist here. We'll take a quick shoulder stretch. So bring right arm across the chest, right shoulder away from the ear. Again, tendency is to shrug it up. So lower it down. And then the other side. So it's easy to figure out what to do when you know what you're not supposed to do. One more breath. And release. All right. Other side. Find your blocks again, tall setting. Step the right foot forward. Parallel railroad tracks here. Right foot a little to the right side of the mat. Left knee to the left side of the mat. Bring the blocks under your shoulders. And then have a perfect stack of the front knee. If you're feeling too much in your hips, a lot of work in your hips, you can always slide the front heel in and be in a very boxy lunge here. So there, or crawl the foot forward, have a nice deep lunge going here, stretching the hip flexor. Inhale here, exhale, straighten through the front leg. 3 more with your breath. Inhale, send the heart forward. Exhale, hips draw back. We curl the right toes. Stretch in our right hamstring, right calf. 2 more. Inhale. And last one. This time we'll fold. You can always slide the heel forward if you have room. You can lower the setting of your blocks. Doing your best to keep the back, lower back especially, as straight as you can. Upper back can round. Let the head go here. Usually both sides are different for most people. This is my tighter side, so if you know what your tighter side is, maybe spending a couple of extra breaths there to find symmetry in the body. Toes are curled, pointing towards the right hip. One more breath. If you slid the heel out, slide it in. Tall setting of your blocks again. We heel toe the foot to the left top corner of the mat and then extend the leg. Option to slide the heel out. Place the left hand on top of the right. And this is totally not mandatory. You can always place the left hand on the left block and turn the body. As long as the toes are pointing towards the hip, you'll feel the work. Couple of breaths. Unwind. Slide the heel in, heel to the foot to the right side of the mat. Move the blocks out of your way. Both hands inside the right foot. Lift the left knee. Send the hips up a little. Press those palms away from the mat, pushing away. Bring out the right foot. Then plank. Tucking the tailbone, puffing up the upper back. 2 more breaths here. Fighting gravity with the strength of our muscles. 1 more. Hips go up and back. Downward facing dog. 2 more breaths. Maybe lifting the toes here this time. 1 more. Lowering the knees down. If you had a blanket on the mat like me, move it out of your way and we'll transition into our child pose. So let the big toes touch, knees widen, as wide as the mat. And then keep the hips rooted to the heels as much as they can. Begin to walk your hands out. Mat width apart. Spread the fingers and then slowly lower the forehead down. If you feel yourself somewhere here, then you can always place a block under the forehead. What we don't want is hips lifted up and you're dumping all your weight in your forehead. So in that case, you may want to bring a block under your forehead in any height. Deep breaths here. One more breath. Lift the forehead, slide the right arm under the left, and then either the forehead is facing down or you turn your head to the left side. Again, a block under the head is very, very useful here. If you don't have a block handy, you can always make a fist block and then support your head. If the twist does not feel good, you can always lower the forehead down. Lifting the forehead, going to the other side, right arm forward, left hand under the right, we thread the needle, facing down or to the right side. Last breath. And then press up. Slowly walk the hands back towards the knees. Bring the knees together. You can roll onto any side. Come in the middle of the mat. And then that blanket goes at the back of the mat to support the head. And then we slowly lower down. Shoulders off the mat. Off the blanket. And then give yourself a nice squeeze. Hands behind the knees. Knees are nice and wide. Maybe a little rock here. And then lower the right foot down on the mat. Left leg extends, interlace the fingers behind the left leg. Toes can curl here for an extra stretch in our calves. Again, toes should be pointing towards the left hip, not sideways. Just being mindful of that. Making sure that the low back is not lifting off the mat. So you can always have a bend in the knee as you're drawing the leg closer. One more breath. Bend the knee. We'll go for half happy baby. So left hand behind the knee, open the knee to a side and then face those left feet towards the sky. Option to keep the right knee bent here, or you can straighten it out. So my left hand is drawing my left thigh close to me as the foot is trying to reach up towards the sky. Left toes can curl here. One more breath. And then lower the left foot down. Move the hips to the left side of the mat, scoot up, and then cross the left leg over. So land the left foot on the right leg. Left hand comes out into a half T. Right hand guides the left knee to the right side. Do your best to keep the left shoulder blade grounded on the mat. Just breathe here. Another breath. Come back center. Bend the right knee. Give the legs a nice squeeze. You can wrap your hands around the shins. Maybe rock side to side a little. Lower the feet down. Bring right knee to chest. Slide the right hand behind the right knee And then begin to open the hip here. So take the right knee to the right side and then point the sole of the right foot towards the sky for our half happy baby Ardh Anand Balasana. And the left leg can stay bent or extend here. Should feel that stretch in the right inner thigh, right hip. And if you flex your right toes enough, you'll feel some work in your right calf. Making sure that the face is relaxed here, the shoulders, we often tend to clench them. One more breath. Bend the right knee, release the foot onto the mat. Scoot the hips over to the right side of the mat this time. Bring the right hip over left. Left hand guides the right leg. Right arm goes out into a half T position. Right shoulder blade grounds. We breathe here in our twist. Noticing where you feel the stretch. Unwind. Bend the left knee. Readjust the hips back center. Wrap the hands around the shins. Give them a nice squeeze. And then maybe lift the head, bringing nose towards the knees, becoming the most compact ball here. Inhale. And exhale, lower the head down. Slowly lower the feet down. Extend the right foot to the right edge of the mat, left to the left edge of the mat. We'll set up for our final pose, Shavasana. Take a moment to settle down here. Begin to soften your breath. Allow it to become shallow. Allow the body to rest, sink heavy into the earth. Knowing that this is a safe space for us, we begin to go inwards. Into our core, into our true self. Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Invite teeny tiny movements in the fingers, the toes. Then taking the arms overhead, bringing the feet together, pointing the toes. Deep inhale here in your good morning stretch. The exhale, bend the knees, roll on to any side, and then make your way up into a seat where we started. Once you find yourself in space, go ahead and close down the eyes again. Gather your palms in front of your heart. Palms to forehead. We bow with gratitude for the space, this time, our practice. Thank you so much. Release the hands. We are done.